Welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube channel. My name is Mike. I'm continuing my Week 4 previews and analysis. This video is for the game between the New York Jets and the Tennessee Titans and will be played down in Nashville in what's a game that's featuring two 2-1 teams, which I know for these teams to be 2-1 is a bit of a surprise to some people. Not much expected out of either of these teams this year, mainly due to the fact that they're starting young quarterbacks who are still growing. You saw one in Jake Locker on Sunday. Pretty much take control of the game, throw for almost 300 yards, rush for almost 70 yards, throw a game-winning touchdown to win the game for the Titans. Now, the question remains, can Locker build on that? He's been largely inconsistent during his career so far. Still a young quarterback, though. Is this the time? Was that the game where he turns the corner? And if it does, if it was, he should be able to open up some more running lanes for Chris Johnson, who's been solid, hasn't yet broken through for one of those huge runs, hasn't scored hasn't been a touchdown machine, but the running game's been methodical and effective. And how does that improve if Jake Locker indeed, starts to play consistently? And I think an underrated part of this team is their defense. Not many household names on that defense, but certainly guys who come and grind and really wear on offenses. I mean, and just look at the performances they've put up so far. Most notably last week against the Chargers, where I expected the Chargers to put up more points against the Titans defense, but the Titans defense was pretty stout the whole game, really limiting Phillip Rivers in that offense, which had been pretty prolific up until that point. But for me, this whole team boils down to Locker and his consistency, and he's going up against some very good defense this week, a defense that's much better than the Chargers, as a matter of fact. So we'll see how he improves. As for the Jets, again, 2-1. Geno Smith wins the battle of the rookie QBs last week as the Jets beat the Bills at home, 27-20 in a game where they committed 20 penalties, still won the game. You saw a lot of bright spots. Geno Smith, I thought, was one, throwing the ball down the field, 2 touchdown passes over 50 yards, 1 to certainly Stephen Hill and Santonio Holmes, who looks to be rounding into shape here. And I thought the real story for the Jets also was that Bilal Powell rushed for over 100 yards against the Bills defense that is susceptible to the run, that was banged up, but still. You see a much improved Jets offensive line with Geno Smith getting more time to throw than Mark Sanchez has the last couple seasons. I think that's a huge factor in why the Jets are off to probably a better start than people thought, and this offense is playing a lot better than I know a lot of people thought. Their defense has been solid all year. I mean, when you look at the fact that they let up 20 points to the Bills, and then in the previous 2 games, 13 to the Patriots, 17 to the Buccaneers. So they've been pretty consistent all year. That defensive line is a force. I mean, if you haven't watched them play yet, led by Muhammad Wilkerson and rookie Sheldon Richardson, they've been playing some great football. How do they match up against those 2 interior guys and the line as a whole from the Titans? That should be a very good matchup. Look, the way I see this game going is it's going to be a grind-out game, sort of like their Monday night game was last year. If you remember, that game was pretty ugly. I think the offenses will be a little bit better this time. I think this is going to be a very close game. I think these are 2 very evenly matched teams with a lot of similarities. And I like the Titans to win the game, but I like the Jets plus 4.5. So the Jets plus 4.5 and the Titans to win this game. And it's just a thing where Geno Smith going on the road in a relatively tough place to play. Let's see him win one of these games on the road before we get too crazy with anointing the young man. But I really like what I've seen out of Geno Smith. But I think the Titans will be a little too much on this day. Jets plus 4.5, Titans to win. Let me know what you think. Hit me up in the YouTube comments. Hit me up on Twitter at SNewsAnalysis. Guys, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I preview every game, every week. And I'm also talking the news of the day in the NFL here all week. So be sure to subscribe. Thanks for listening, and have a great night.